Back to the show, everyone. We've got loads of you here today, so I'm going to do it this way around. Congrats on the win, Jess. Comfortable in the end, big score line, great response to City. Talk to me.
Oh my gosh. What a game. What a game. First 30 minutes, we all know was not great. It just wasn't, but it's kind of to be expected. Saka's not there and the right side was a little clunky, but we got that penalty off of the first time that I felt like we actually made Leeds defend us in the box and they couldn't live with it. Penalty, clear penalty in my mind. And then from there, it was pretty much smooth sailing. And it was just the right response from a performance for City that for me was very like, we're here and we're going to hunt you down. And I'm not going to lie, after watching them play against Liverpool, I was a little bit like, oof, this is going to be rough. But I think the boys are up for it, and I think there's a lot of anxiety in the Arsenal fan base. I'm one that's always kind of like anxious and stuff like that. But we have 9 games to go. And this team is more than good enough to win the league. And we just have to get behind them because these performances, my goodness, 7 wins in a row. City only have 1 more goal than us. I think it's 71 versus 70. It's as you were. The goal difference is exactly the same as it was before this game started. And the football that we're playing for me doesn't look inferior to the football that they're playing, So we're going blow for blow. And hopefully it goes all the way to the end. And if not, they drop off a little bit. But I am fully behind this team because today was just another response to a really, really good City team. I know that people have been trying to run this narrative that they're not good. They are. You watch them today, they absolutely dismantled Liverpool today. And we're also really good. And it was nice to see Jesus, come back, brace. I think he really needed that. We, like Terry said, we won without Saka having to start the game, which is amazing. And so, yeah, this team is showing every single week that they can do it. And I'm just over the moon. 9 games to go. Let's just get behind the group. Whether it's Holding or Saliba or Trossard or whoever, just get behind the group. It's 9 games to go, you guys. Like, this is wild. This football I'm watching is freaking ridiculous.
It absolutely is. And Igal, welcome back, my friend. It's been a couple of weeks since we spoke with the international break. Another brilliant performance. 7 wins on the bounce. Confidence is growing. What kind of message does this send from a pride point of view to the Gary Nevilles of this world, the haters, the doubters that said by now you'd crumble, you would capitulate in the run-in. After your wobble, you weren't going to recover. Last-minute winners were going to see you fail. You were going to concede too much. You weren't scoring enough. Like, how proud are you of the response and the togetherness of your team?
I love it. Absolutely love it. And I'll just say this, Terry, we don't think about other people at this moment in time. I don't think the players do. I don't think any of them do. I don't think they care about the narratives that people are calling it a fluke, calling it a lucky season, saying that this is our only chance to win the league. This team is everything's going their way. We don't care about any of those narratives. The reality is we take it game by game. We got 9 games left, and every single game we put our best out there. With Rob Holding, respect to Rob Holding, respect to Trossard, respect to all these guys who came in and they just make they make that little difference. We have a squad now. Trust Mikel Arteta, trust the team, and trust the squad to get us through these games. When there's players that are going to be out of the team, you don't need to go crazy. Before, if Bukayo Saka was out of the team, it would have caused uproar and meltdowns. Now he's out of the team. We're kind of comfortable. We go into the game. Yes, at the beginning, Leeds were on us, and we needed to get that goal. The penalty that we got opened up the game for us, helped us ease our way into the rest of the game, and from there, the floodgates were open. The next goal came. The goal came after that, and by that point, I just wanted the clean sheet. I'm gutted for Ramsdale. He didn't get the clean sheet off a heavy deflection. They scored, but then immediately we bounced back and scored a goal. Shout out to Granit Xhaka. That's 5 goals in the league. That's the most he's ever scored in his career in the league campaign. Then you have Ben White. I'm just going to say it, best right back in the league right now, based on form, based on performances, based on how he's attacking defensively, everything about him. We got to give him his credit. Everyone give him his credit. Maybe I'm going a little bit overboard, but I don't care. That's what I honestly believe. When it comes to the rest of the team, Jesus is back. I told you guys. Everyone here in this panel told you guys. Where's Arsenal's next level going to come from? Where's Arsenal going to drop off? You thought we were going to drop off with Gabriel Jesus coming back in the team? What are people talking about? Like, this guy comes in, bags a brace in his first start after injury in the Premier League, and you guys think this team is going to regress? Maybe Saliba's out and he's a big miss defensively, but we have other pieces to pick up the pieces. Our attack has been the part that has not been as consistent as the rest of the team. And if our attack is this fluid going forward against the smaller teams, Man City, everyone in the league, you guys got a big problem. And it's not a problem for us.
Yeah, one thing I'll say, Terry, is that this team, Terry, is not even in its final form. This is just the beginning of his team, because right now, the goal we want to be is right here. And right now, I see us at this level. So we still have some holes in our squad and a team that's not complete, but we're going to get better and better every year. Some of these players, Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, they're 4 years from entering the prime. So it's only going to get better from here. And listen, you know, I saw the game today. City scored for a minority in the fan base. I think it's still with every fan base, panicking, this and that. The Ben White news saying, oh my God, Ben White, this and that. Us fans panicking. Okay, the first half an hour was concerning, but once we got that penalty and that goal, it was just plain sailing from there. And Gabriel Jesus, he's got his confidence back. Injured for 5 months, comes back, gets surgery on his leg, scores 2 goals, which is more than Richarlison all season. So, you know what? It's a good day at the office.
It's a very good day for you. There's no doubt about it. It isn't just a win; it's a comfortable win. The goal difference as well to equal the score line, so that City didn't put. Because if they end up, if E-Review ends up with a 5, 6, 7, you know, this could theoretically come down to goal difference in the end. So it was a very good response. I want to tap into some of the things that Igal said for a moment and put it at the rest of the panel. Ben White, do you agree with Igal? Best right back in the league right now?
Best right back in the league.
By far. There's no question, no discussion. By far the best right back in the league. People want to put Reece James, but mate, you can't be the best if you're in the hospital. That's what I said in the group chat, and I'll say it again. If he was available, then the conversation can be had. But like we say, availability is your best ability. And who's available right now to play? Not Reece James. So that's the reason why I'm going to say Ben White. Also, he's out of position. A lot of people said he couldn't play that position. He couldn't do what, you know, Tomiyasu could do. He's kept Tomiyasu out regardless of being injured. The way he attacks him gets the better out of Saka as well. You know, Saka, when Ben White's there, plays a lot better than when Ben White isn't there. And we've seen that this season as well. And simply, he's the reason why there's some games we've won because of Ben White. Today, look, I'm not going to throw shade on Holding, but Ben White did get this defense out of trouble many, many times, stopping counters, bringing the pace in behind, but then also driving attacks. That's what I think people don't understand. He's one of the, you know, when you don't notice a player, you truly know how great they are. When you notice defenders and when you really see a defender, that's when you know, okay, they're doing something wrong, to notice them. And that's what he is. He's a silent performer. He just does his job. He's a 7, 8 out of 10 every single game. He might have had 1, maybe 2 bad games this season, but the majority of the times I'm sitting there giving him 7, 8s every single game.
I think the thing about Ben White early on was obviously there was a lot of damage done against Brentford. Like that first game that he ever played for us, there was a lot of damage done, a lot of overreacting, a lot of narrative that kind of like people have never really given him the credit. Like he was good last season as well. Like people are acting like this player just showed up this season. He didn't. And in All or Nothing, I remember Arteta or one of the coaches was talking to Ben White and saying, you could become world class. You have all the ability to do it. And he 100% does have that ability. I'm not saying he's world class now, but in 2 seasons from now, I expect Ben White to be the best right back in this league. He just has everything. He has the height, the athleticism, the technical ability. He's adding goals to his game. He supports Saka better than anybody. I mean, the best thing for me about Ben White is that Southgate doesn't like him, because the longer that Southgate stays in the job, the less likely he is to play for that guy and get ran into the ground. So for me, Ben White, he's the best right back on form in the league right now. Obviously, it takes time to build that up, but he's amazing. Best 50 million spent.
Well, there's a comment that came in here that says you pay £50 million because over the course of the contract, he outplays that value. He's a 60 million right back on the market now. I mean, he might be worth even more because of the versatility. Again, he was a player that Gal remember me saying this. I thought he was a brilliant signing when he came in. I didn't.
And I said he could become a bargain for 50 million.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why, and this isn't about making it about my club, but I'm drawing a parallel to this comment and what Jess just said. It's why I get it's banter, but you know what I keep saying on the show, that banter's becoming dry. Clubs sign players now, and if they're not the best, if they're not Messi after 3 games, everyone's calling them a flop. You have to give players time to settle, fit into systems. Sometimes their position gets slightly adjusted. And you've all seen this with this Arteta team. Certain players you've signed and maybe not quite playing exactly where you expected them to be, or their roles a little different. No one predicted. Well, I didn't see many predictions of this. Maybe the Arsenal fans were. When Saka first came through, no one was talking about he was going to become the best right-sided attacker. It was all left-hand side everybody was expecting. So you've got to give players time to settle. And Ben White, listen, I think people say on form a lot. This season, he's been the best right-back in the league. There's no doubt about it. For people to put him over the Reece Jameses and the Trents and everybody else overall, he's probably got to do it a little bit longer. But Arsenal fans won't care about that. They've got the best right back in the league right now. The fact he's not playing for England's a benefit to you because he's not playing additional games. Yeah, and I think the young man has just been nothing short of sensational. Another signing I wanted to ask you all about, because I know there's so many players out there, and in terms of, we did have a poll running actually on who the man of the match was today. He got 20% of the vote. Jesus has won it, and we'll come on to him. But Trossard got 20% of the vote today. Dords, how good again was Leandro Trossard in terms of his leading from the front, his ability on the ball, his creativity today? Talk to me.
For the amount of price that we bought him for £25 million, this is like the best signing we've had in 10 years, I think. This guy is so versatile. Can play on the left, can play on the right wing. I thought not playing Bukayo Saka today on the right wing, I thought that because Saka's been our best player. We haven't got a player that's on the same level as Bukayo Saka on the right wing. But today, Trossard, his link-up play, his footwork, he reminds me of like because the way his footwork is similar to Santi Cazorla. The way he can get past the player is so good, man. Like, I thought missing out Mudryk, I thought we're not gonna buy a player that's gonna have a massive impact on our team. But I credit Mikel Arteta, Edu, every single time. We can't judge them. Any signings that they make from now on, we can't say anything bad. And just going back to the team, every single player in this team, Mikel Arteta has made them play better. There hasn't been 2 or 3 players that's carrying the whole team. Every single player in this team is playing beyond their expectations. Granit Xhaka today, oh my goodness, like he scored 3 games in a row. Sporting Lisbon, Crystal Palace, and today, and he's stepping up. Every single player is stepping up. And going back to it now, Trossard I can't ask more from him. Against Liverpool, I expect him to start against Liverpool because this guy's an impact player. Every single game that he plays, he either scores or makes an assist. So for me, Trossard has to start against Liverpool.
What you're pulling a face at that, Jess? What do you think to that?
For me, Jesus has to start against Liverpool. I mean, but I agree with the sentiment of he's just that good. Trossard is just a very smart signing. Like, there's nothing really, he just fits. I don't think he had a great first half, but I don't think that was his fault. I don't think he's a right-sided player like that. And it's really difficult to come in for Bukayo Saka. But once he moved central, he was doing typical Trossard things. So it's nice to have these problems, though. I mean, how long has it been since we've been like, who can we play up front? Like, who should play, who should not, whatever. But Jesus, for me, starts against Liverpool. But if we have to bring Trossard in, I expect him to make a difference. Like, it's just good to have. We haven't had this time.
The real question is, wow. Can you imagine if you'd have signed Mahalo Mudryk instead? Like, hindsight, as I've said since I started the football terrace, hindsight is the most lucrative commodity in the world. If you could bottle it and sell it, you'd be a billionaire. You'd be richer than Elon Musk in about 3 days. You know what I mean? But go on, Nigel, because you were someone that really wanted Mahalo, and you've now got Trossard. He's been brilliant. I agree with your take. Best January signing so far. I know you said that on a previous show, but go on. What are you saying, bro?
He's the best January signing in world football. I don't think there's a better January signing in world football. I don't think anyone can really name it, but that's just the reality. You guys can think of somebody, please do.